That's crazy.
Good evening, and welcome to the BZA meeting, May 14th, 2026. I want to go ahead and call the meeting to order. And Ms. Amber, if we can get a roll call, please.
Chairman McGonigal,
Here.
Andy Thomas,
Here.
Mendel Bell,
Here.
Reeves, Joe Reeves,
Here.
Cynthia Lover,
Here.
Wyman Wise,
Here.
Norfleet Jones. Here. We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. If you get a chance, how about reviewing last month's meeting, the Thursday, April 9th, 2026 meeting? And if someone gets an opportunity to make a motion to approve minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Wise.
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Thomas. I'm going to have to recuse myself. I'm going to have to abstain from the voting because I was not present. So all those in favor, say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, we had two sets of meetings. Were the March 12th approved in the last meeting? So we need to approve
got
those as
that.
well.
I don't
Good
think
deal.
we had a quorum or something.
Thank you. What's that, the March 12th?
Yeah. So we got the March 12th and the April 9th. So
Good deal.
since you got your April 9th approved and you abstain, I will make a motion that we approve March 12th, 2026 meeting minutes.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Item number 3 on the agenda, the communication from the city.
Just the nominations for chair and vice chair.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, with that being said, and us having to nominate our chair and vice chair, I would like to make a motion that we renominate you as our continued chairman and nominate Ms. Cynthia Lover as our vice chair.
Okay, any, do we have a second?
Second.
We got seconds on that. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Great. Thank you. And the next item on the agenda, Mr. Caldwell, is there anything else on the agenda?
No, sir.
Great, thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to item A. If we can go ahead and get anyone who's planning on speaking tonight to rise, and we'll get Ms. Amber to get you all sworn in.
Do you solemnly state under penalty of perjury that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may have a seat.
Great, thank you. Okay, we've got item number 1 on the agenda. We've got BZA 26-7. We've got an application by James Baldwin for a variance to remove trees in excess of 24 inches in diameter at 1701 Spring Land Drive.
Mr. Chairman, I believe I have to recuse myself. Is
Yep.
this the surf club?
Thank you, Mr. Wise.
And Mr. Chairman, I also recuse myself from BZA 26 as well.
Great, thank you, Mr. Bell. Anyone else? Great. So, Mr. Roy, as we come in, just let you know that, we're a body of 7, but we're down to a body of 5. So you'll need a 3-2 vote for any approvals,
Thank you. We're willing to go forward. So in your packet, originally, there was a request to remove three trees that total 136 inches in diameter. We have revised the plans for the building to move it forward to save all 3 of those trees. Now there are 2 trees that total 72 inches in diameter that the Surf Club is seeking to remove. The purpose for removing this is we have buildings that are over there that need to be replaced. They're old, outdated, and it's time to start rejuvenating some of the buildings on the property. If we were to put the buildings back into those footprints, we would lose more trees by doing that are greater in size than these 2 by relocating that building as far as moving it towards the parking lot. And we'll lose a little bit of parking, but those 2 trees, one of them will be in the footprint. The other one will be in, when we have to redesign the driveway, it'll be in that construction portion of that driveway. So that's the 2 reasons the 2 trees and the reason why we're seeking to have those 2 trees removed. The Surf Club is a 160-acre tract in which there are tens of thousands of hardwoods on it. The surf club annually spends $50,000 just for the improving the trees in their budget, not removing trees, but taking up canopies and doing the things to help protect the golf course. The golf course is, filled with different drainage patterns and circular patterns in which the air has to flow in order to help the greens, the fairways, and the trees survive. So by putting this building there, we are limiting the number of trees that need to be removed, because if we moved it to other portions of that golf course, we would have to seek to remove additional trees. So it's very limited in the scope in which we're trying to do. We've tried other designs, as before you have seen one design before in which we asked to delay your hearing on it, but now we've moved the building to further limit the number of trees that need to come down. It's not harmful to any of the neighbors because, well, it's a 168 foot or 168 acre tract, and the neighborhoods are not many neighbors and houses there. It wouldn't affect it because it doesn't butt up to where the building's going to go. The hardship is tied to the unique characters of which that property has in and of itself, as far as the golf course that's there, the surrounding areas. This is not being built, this building, for financial gain or anything else. It's just simply, it's an outdated building. And this is the second phase in a three-phase building project. And we're simply seeking those two trees because they're, for lack of a better term, kind of in the way of having to improve the facility. And this is the least intrusive way of doing it.
Great, thanks, Mr. Roy. I went out there a couple times to take a look at it with you, was trying to look at the different options. Do you have a picture of the trees that
I
you are
do
saving?
have them on my phone. I don't know how to.
Is there a way
So-
that we can, because it's interesting that when we went out there, and I'm glad you guys found another option as far as moving the building and saving those two beautiful oaks that were on the golf course.
Technology. Yep. This is the backdrop area, and this is the island is where these, both, one's 42 inches, 40 inches in diameter, the other one's 32 inches in diameter. They are white oak. The 40 inches the white oak, the 32 inches the live oak tree.
Is that the two that were on the golf course that are,
No, these are not on the golf course. These are actually in the tongue coming in by the backdrop on the road. Where the starter shed was, all three of those trees we talked about before were behind that starter shed.
right? Said it was the two big oaks were on the golf course.
Correct.
Okay. And they were gorgeous. The two of the three were gorgeous trees. And I think that's what we were looking at struggling with, was the, how pretty they were, them. I'm glad you could pull it back. Is that one of them?
Those are the two trees, the same two trees. I didn't take pictures of the ones behind. These are simply on the drive-in. Those ones behind are going to remain.
Got it.
One of them was 72 inches in diameter itself.
Yep. Okay. Good deal.
So looking at this drawing that's here,
Okay. So do you have the one that's, the last one that was sent, I think, 2 weeks ago?
I don't know, that's why I'm,
I have two copies of it. No.
I seem like I know where the oaks are. I went down there today and looked at the two that you're
Do
going
you
to
mind if I
remove.
come show you where they are on it?
Yeah, because there's red circles and there's green circles on this drawing, so I want to make sure that the things on the drawing are also the ones in the picture.
I think we have the old drawing.
I think we do
Oh,
too.
this is an old drawing.
There should be
Yeah.
a new one that's in your packet too.
All I've got, I've got
If you got it, you put it on the screen.
I've got that and that.
Okay.
We got the old drawing.
So that's why this one had the red circles where, that's why it looked like you're going to remove those big ones. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
All right, so this is Springland Drive here. This is the driveway going up into the parking lot by the backdrop. These two are in the island here. The other ones were here, here, and here.
So this drawing that's in the package is disregarded.
That was the original one.
Okay,
and
so-
then there was another drawing submitted 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
I thought was part of this package as well.
okay.
I'll have that picture, that drawing, Ben, by chance.
I believe James emailed it to you.
I just think if we're ruling on something, we want to make sure that everything in the package is
The other
everything
one too.
that's on the screen,
All right, so
that we're all talking about the same thing.
originally,
Right. Those, yeah.
So the three that we looked at, two of them in particular were beautiful. I mean, they were, so,
That footprint of that building is now coming forward to where that first tree is, the one that's in green. So that's where the footprint of the building's coming.
right, good deal.
I would say, driving around down there and going through your parking lot, I think it would be hard to build a building without some tree coming out. I mean, everywhere you turn down there, there's this beautiful big trees. I can't figure out where else you would move something. I'm very happy that you kept the three big ones, that you've switched off of those. So, and just driving around in your parking lot, there's so many trees. I don't know how you could build something new and not cut down some trees. So these seem to be the lesser of the evils.
I promise, that's one of the unique things about the surf club is the number of oak trees that are there. And that's what we try to maintain because it is part of its culture and part of the nature that's there.
About how many hardwoods do you think you have on the property?
Probably, there's more than 10,000 hardwoods on that property.
I think you did a good job moving the location of that, bringing it back and saving, particularly the two trees. If anybody had a chance to see them, I think we all saw them. That's why we had to go back to the drawing board to find another option. And I think by moving this thing back, it puts the footprint is in a better spot, even though we are losing a couple of trees. Any other questions for the applicant?
I think aesthetically what they're doing as well is a positive for the community as well. What you've done before this on the other side looks really good. Like what you've already done, it'll be a net positive, I think. We can come up. Subsidize what they're cutting down.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Roy. We're going to hear from the city and we'll be back.
Petitioner James Baldwin has applied for a variance to remove trees in excess of 24 caliper inches at 1701 Springland Drive. Trees exceeding 24 caliper inches shall only be removed upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. City Council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. The oak trees measure at 72 inches. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review Section 2368.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell.
Welcome.
Any questions for the city? Yes, sir, Mr. Norrie. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any questions for the city? Any questions for Mr. Roy? Yeah, we're going to have public next. Yeah, I was going to catch everybody here and then we get the public at the end.
There's one additional thing. If there is going to be a replacement schedule, Surf Club would like 3 years to do it because there's a third phase coming that may be a good spot to plant some new trees around because when the remainder of the building goes down, there's going to be a lot more green space where that is now. So it's probably 3 years away from doing that.
Okay. Well, we'll take that in consideration. Thank you. Is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak? Great, thanks. All right. Anybody prepared to make a motion?
What are you all thinking about replacement?
I think, my opinion is on talking about within X amount of time, if we gave them where they come back and plant, because they're going to pull, sounds like you guys are doing major renovation on the clubhouse?
Well, the clubhouse is going to be next, and that's probably 3 years in the making as far as when it gets started. And that would be a great place for us to plant some hardwoods around that open area.
For sure. Mr. Caldwell, any thoughts on that with their timeline as far as they've got as pretty oaks as anywhere on the whole beach, and coming back, if they do any work on the clubhouse, it'd be nice to come back and add some more.
You can certainly put conditions on your approval.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, then I will make a motion we approve variance BZA 26-7, finding that the applicant has gone and really made some significant changes and listened to our concerns about the first 3 trees they wanted to cut down, and that this is a lesser tree removal. So I would make a motion that we grant the variance BZA 26-7, with the requirement that they either replant 74 inches of white oak trees or pay $22,000 into the tree bank or any combination thereof, and that they have 3 years to complete the replacement project.
Do we have a second? Get a second? Mr. Northfleet? Any questions? Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. We've got item number 2. We've got an application by Jonathan.
Hold on a second, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Let me go get,
Oh, yes, thank you. Thanks.
And leave him out there.
Yeah, right. All right, we've got item number 2 on the agenda. We have BZA 26-9, an application by Jonathan Reynolds for a variance of a required building setback at 1205 Perrin Drive, TMS number 357-120-40061, and the Resort Residential R4 districts. Mr. Reynolds,
Yes, hey,
if you could, come on up and introduce yourself for the record.
Jonathan Reynolds.
And your address?
That one's 1200 Perrin Drive.
Deal, thank you. Tell us what you got going on.
So it's, irregular shape, so I was just trying to see if we can move some of the setbacks to get a house on the lot. More or less.
But we need some particulars, like what, if these are your we know what the setbacks are, 15 in the front and rear, 5 on the side. What specific setback variance are you requesting?
So, right now whatever I can get, I guess. I don't know.
That's not how it
what,
works.
maybe like the roadside, because it's shaped like a triangle in a weird shape. So maybe pushing it back to like 5 foot setback to the road or something.
Do you don't have any
The
plans?
setbacks on the side and rear, I'm okay with. I was just trying to get some more room to just kind of shift the house into it.
But you have to be specific. You don't have any plans?
Right.
yeah, you're a good candidate for a variance.
Yeah.
But we need some plans, so we can make a ruling on it.
Right.
You got the
Thing I have is, I guess, just the survey.
We've got that. We're looking at that.
Yeah.
It is a very small lot and it's very odd shape, but we're not just gonna say, well,
I was trying to put like
we're going
a,
to give you a 10-foot variance or something. We need to know what kind of variance you're asking for and on which sides.
right.
and
So
all
do you
that.
need me to actually like put a house on it?
Yes, sir.
And do like a plot?
And that way we can give you
Yeah.
exactly specifics on each side of variance
Okay.
if you need that.
Yeah, that's fine.
You've
Yeah,
got
I
an
can do that.
odd-shaped lot, so we understand that, so we're trying
Yeah.
to make it work, but we don't want to, we need to see what you're going to put on there to help
Right.
us understand
I'm-
how.
It's probably
how
like
to
a
utilize it.
34 by,
Yeah.
40.
Let's, a good idea, just if you could come back.
Yeah.
We're going to table this, and you come on back and just sort of draw it up how it would fit, and then we can understand and try to help you
I can
see what we
easily
can
do that. Yes.
or not do, so, okay?
Okay.
Do you,
Thanks.
do you think you could do that in a month? Do you need us to
Oh, yeah.
postpone this, or do you
I
need
can have
us
it
to?
done
withdraw-
by end of the week next week.
Okay, all right. Then we'll postpone it then.
Okay.
So
That's
you'll be
perfect.
on the schedule for next
Yeah.
month.
Great,
No
thanks.
problem.
Can we yeah, thank you. Do we need to hear from the city? Do we need to hear from city, or we just want to postpone this?
Yeah.
Good deal.
I'll make a motion. We postpone variance BZA 26-9.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Bell. We got a second from Mr. Bell. Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Great. Okay, we got item number 3 on the agenda, and I'm going to have to recuse myself. Ms. Lover, if you want to take over.
Okay. Item 3 on the agenda, BZA-26-11, an application by Cameron Parker for a variance to remove a tree exceeding 24 inches at 1800 South Ocean Boulevard. Who is here on behalf of Cameron Parker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Shep Guyton, 460B Oleander Drive in Myrtle Beach, and I also have Greg Duckworth with me, who's the landscape architect for this project. You all are very familiar with this project. It's not the first time you've heard from us, and you've given us some great feedback. I just wanted to remind a few things that, variances are typically based on a hardship that's on the property or related to the property, the circumstances surrounding it. If you'll recall, that on this particular piece of property, there are 3 things that were primarily driving the change in design. One was the neighbor and the city's desire that we not have a 4-story parking structure there, which would create shadowing and create some more challenges to the existing landscaping, so the developer has removed that. The second one was that the developer contribute a portion of the property for use by the city as a public benefit, which they've also done, which further limited the use of the property. And then the third one was that the developer used its best efforts to preserve as many of the trees as possible. In this assembly of lots, there are at least a couple lots that have really good trees on it. So that's the other part of what we've tried to do here. On this particular variance request, if you look, this lot is bounded on 2 sides by existing roadways, which limits the width of the lot to be improved. There's a great tree in the center of it. This is a 33-inch tree. You'll see a discrepancy. The civil plan's noted as a 24.5-inch tree. The landscape plan's noted as a 33-inch tree. Staff has confirmed that it's a 33-inch tree. It does fall in the middle of the drive aisle. So for the benefit of the remaining trees, what we're proposing is that we be allowed to remove that tree, subject to the mitigation schedule, of course, but that one tree be removed for the benefit of the remaining trees that we can preserve on the perimeter of that lot.
Okay, so this does get to be very confusing because there's all these different parcels. And this particular request designates 1802 South Ocean Boulevard as the lot.
I think this will help. Greg's going to put the plan up so you'll know exactly which lot we're talking about.
Isn't that the lot that has the construction building on it, office on it at the moment, that White House?
No, that's on the rear. That's one of the 3rd row lots.
No. I mean, I was just down there and that's why I'm confused. I was just down there and that white building says 1802 on the front of it. Where the people are rocking on the porch in the rocking chairs? You are correct. Okay, so this is my issue. I'm looking at that particular lot because that's how the variance reads. That tree doesn't appear to be on that lot. That tree that you want to remove does not appear to be on 1802.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
So that's my concern. I want to make sure we're talking about the right addresses, tax map numbers, and trees. And I could be wrong about that, but I just went by and looked, and that house takes up almost all the lot where the construction office is, and then there's trees down the side of it, and there's like sand fences along it, like those construction-looking sand fences there that have the canvas on them, and there's little trees down both sides of that house. I don't know how far over 1802 South Ocean Boulevard goes to the left. Because the right-hand side is, if you're looking away from the ocean, the right-hand side is that yellow house, which is not part of the project. And then on the left, then there's the White House where they're using as a construction office. And then to the left is
I think it might help if
some
Greg
more
shows the
sand.
overall assembly so you
Okay.
see each of the lots. And that might be helpful. You have the oceanfront lot in front, and then you have the 2 second-row parcels, and then the 2 third-row parcels.
So you are here only today for 1802? What?
No, there's a series of variances. The first one is for the removal of that 33-inch tree.
Okay.
That's, if you'll recall, we had all these joined together at one time. We separated them so it would be clear as to what we were asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular variance is only the removal of that 33-inch tree.
I think it may clarify if you could describe that white building is going to be removed
It's
when
gonna
this
be
parking
removed.
lot's put in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But how far does 1802, how big is 1802, where that white building is, to the left of it, that big sand lot with the trees on it, is that all part of
It's
1802?
4 lots in a row.
That's 4 lots,
Yeah.
okay,
The
okay,
first being the one with the white building,
okay.
and then 3 vacant lots.
So all 4 of those lots are considered 1802.
That's what I,
Okay.
And
that's how
if
I
you look at
understood
that
it.
plan, you'll
Okay.
see the lines for the, prior to being combined, you'll see the
Okay.
lines for each of the lots there.
Thank you. That clarifies that.
And if you see at the top of the page, those are the trees that we're talking about that we've made every effort to preserve.
So there's lots of small trees on there that are live oaks that are not protected. They sort of look like lollipops or something. What is your plan for them?
Yep.
Hey, it's Greg Duckworth here. Thank you for hearing us this evening. As you and I had walked, it was what, maybe a month and a half ago now. This was the one that had the most trees on it, the lot. Now, you mentioned that some of the trees are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Those trees, to me, and I think the neighbors too, have high value because of the windswept nature of them.
Mhm.
They're not just lollipops, as you indicated. So therein lies the goal and the challenge at the same time: is how can we preserve the unique sculptural aspect of these trees that are essentially one of the kind. You know, you just can't go buy those at a nursery. Those have to evolve over, 50 years, 100 years, whatever it may be, for them to take on that characteristic. And that what makes it so important that we try to implement a parking strategy like this that'll preserve those trees. Granted, some of those trees don't meet the limit in terms of protection, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter if they're small or large. They're important as a group to stay together and look the way they do as an aggregate appearance. And that's what we've tried to do. We've gone to a one-way circulation pattern, and you can see kind of the staggered or sawtooth kind of edge to those angled parking spaces that allow us to pick up extra green space in and around the trees to preserve them. Now, you'll see in gray on the plan these gray areas that are kind of darker than the rest of the sheet. Those are areas that fall within the canopy tree protection area. And what we're going to do there, what's proposed, is to do an aggregate surface there that's permeable, but is also dust-free, that will allow the tree roots to have water and oxygen and allow them to continue to grow in a healthy way. Now, you can go and point to trees and parking lots all around the beach here, and yeah, some of them are literally paved right up to the trunk with asphalt, but it's probably not giving them the highest and best chance to survive. Whereas what we're trying to do here is take every opportunity to give them the highest and best opportunity to survive. And I think that when this is built, yes, it'll be a parking lot, but it will feel a lot more, neighborhood friendly than your average parking lot that's out there that are used for beach access parking, for example. This is going to be quite beautiful and do a good job of saving those trees. Yes, we're taking out this one here. That tree exceeds the limit that requires us to be here this evening, and that's what the variance would be for that one tree. But I think that single tree being lost, unfortunately, would happen, but in the process, we're saving all these other really nice sculptural trees to do so. And it's in the drive aisle, and that's why it just didn't end up being the one. Now, I was going to show here in just a second, we're looking at using a gravel binder that's literally designed for being around trees. And It bonds with the aggregate without fines, and it basically creates a dry, dust-free environment, but that's highly permeable. I'll just quickly step away from the mic and scroll on my screen for you here. This is the product called Romex. That's just telling you shouldn't install it when the temperature's between 41 and 86, just because of the curing times. Again, it creates a dust-free situation. That way the gravel is not loose. It's great for pedestrians and vehicular, highly permeable. You can wash it off. It's ADA compliant, well, ant resistant, pressure washer safe, highly permeable. There's a video too, but I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this yet. But anyway, but that rep was literally in my office yesterday, and we were talking through the project and how it would apply to these aggregate surfaces. That cover everything? Okay. Any questions I'm glad to address, but that's just kind of like the overview.
So I guess with your landscaping plan, it looks like you've removed parking stalls on this to save those trees
Yes,
on the outer perimeter.
correct.
So how many stalls are you losing by saving those trees?
You know, originally on the civil engineering drawing, there were 72, and we lost one, but that's because we really broke out the shoehorn to get this to fit. And before it wasn't a one-way driveway, it was a two-way driveway, and it just jammed it all in there. It was literally just wall-to-wall asphalt, literally. And frankly, I don't even know if that plan met code in terms of interior landscape and all those things yet. It was just something that was a study of how can we get the parking we need, and I was like, this is not gonna fly. And this is when we came up with this.
Mr. Duckworth, you mind pointing to the tree one more time?
Can you say that again? I'm
Do
sorry.
you mind pointing to the tree one more time on your map?
Okay. It's the one with the dark circle and the X through it. We coded that one that way because it meets the criteria that for Board of Zoning Appeals. There's two other ones here with a lighter half-tone circle and X that are protected trees that are 18 inches, but that did not require the Board of Zoning Appeals. Now, mind you, this is not a landscape plan yet. This is just a parking design with tree protection layout. And so when we get into the actual approval drawings for staff, we're going to have other trees, for example, along Ocean Boulevard here, probably a tree right here, you know, trees in here, tree here, there'll be trees here, there'll be trees in this landscape buffer here and along on this island too. So this won't be the only trees on the site, but these are the ones that we're trying to protect, and that's why we're here, is talking about existing trees and how can we save them.
So I guess that's my concern, is I'm trying to figure out if we were to say, okay, we would grant your variance request to remove the 33-inch tree, but you have to leave all the rest of them. Is that what's in this plan?
Well, there are.
Which ones are you going to leave? If
The ones that have a dash circle around them are all the ones we're keeping, okay? The ones that have like an X in them, because it's like, well, you know, at some point we have to put a parking space and a drive aisle in. So what we try to do is thread the needle and give you the best possible solution to put parking spaces in there, but also save as many trees as possible as well. So this was kind of a balancing act of what would be the best trees to keep and still have a parking lot. And that's where we are with this. And as you had mentioned earlier, Cynthia, some of those trees are smaller, and some of those are the ones that fell in these drive aisle and parking areas. And so again, we were balancing what we thought would be the most desirable things to preserve while doing so. Will we lose some trees? Yes. Are we going to keep a bunch more? Yes. And are we going to be putting more back? Of course. So, because we don't even have a planting design yet, because we're not going to go way down the road on design until we know that the city is okay. In this case, the Board of Zoning Appeals is okay with trying to achieve this goal.
So the circles represent the tree you're saving.
Yep.
So you're trying to save, a number might be off a little bit, but you're trying to save 34 trees.
Okay, yeah,
that right?
plus or minus, that's a
Yeah.
good thing to say. And again, those heavy dashed lines aren't necessarily the canopy as much as they're the prescribed tree protection zone around that tree.
Okay.
So,
Counted 32.
Counting 1, 2.
but again, mind you, all the trees that have X's that don't have a heavy circle around it, which is every one of them but one, they can just cut them down,
Right,
straight up. They could clear cut this lot except for that one tree.
right.
Right.
This is just,
Yeah.
in my view, they're trying to do the right thing and do a nice, this will probably be one of the nicer commercial parking lots on the ocean front, so. If you guys choose to go that direction.
That's why I'm trying to put that into the discussion, is that if we grant a variance request to remove a tree, we can attach conditions to it. And so I'm leaning towards the condition being that if we were to let you remove the 33-inch tree, that all of the rest of them would remain as shown on this map, that you're not going to go back later and say, oh, we don't have to have permission to cut these down, so we're going to cut them down.
I understand what you're saying, and I think that the developer would be fully in agreement with that, because why would he go through these extraordinary measures to save them and then say, okay, we got the variance, let's cut them all down? That's not what's happening here.
Right.
But yes, please put that requirement, because that way you'll feel good about it.
I do want to qualify that a little bit, just to make sure we're saying the ones that are shown as being protected, not all the other trees.
The ones that we're proposing to save.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm,
These
so,
30-some trees.
right.
All the ones with the big circles around them.
So I can say that you're allowed, that we could have a variance granting your request, provided that the only trees removed are the ones that have the hard X's on them,
Correct. Yes.
which I think I counted 28 maybe. I don't know.
And just like you and I saw out there that day, a lot of those trees with X's, they were the smaller ones that, I mean, frankly, some of those were even literally dead, but they were on the survey.
Yeah, and then some of the cedars were rough looking too.
Yeah, and they've been beat up by construction because they had to take trees off those houses off those lots. And let's
Mhm.
face it, the guys taking the houses off weren't exactly being delicate.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant?
At the moment.
Right now.
We hear from the city, please?
Petitioner Cameron Parker has applied to remove a tree in excess of 24 caliper inches at 1802 South Ocean Boulevard. The tree is a 33-inch live oak. Trees exceeding 24 caliper inches shall only be removed upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. City Council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2368.
So the two trees that are less than 24 inches, it looks like there's a 16-inch and a 20-inch that are not protected, that they're going to remove. What are they required to replant by the city ordinances?
16 total inches.
And the other trees that have the little X's on them, if they take those down, are they required to replant anything for those?
I can't actually read how big they are.
Okay, so what size are they? What size and above do they have to replant?
16 inches and over.
So if any of these with the hard X's are on them are more than 16 inches,
They'll require 50% replacement.
50%. And so there is no landscape plan that's been submitted at this
Not
point in
yet.
time? Okay. Anybody else have any questions for the
Wanna
city?
Hear from, nope. I want to see if anyone wants to hear from the.
Is there anyone else here in the audience that would like to comment or have a question, like to add anything? Were you all sworn in? Did you all get sworn in at the beginning? I was not sworn. Okay. If you come forward, they'll swear you in and state your name.
So we'll need a, does he need,
Excuse me?
does he need a, yeah.
Okay. Do you solemnly state under penalty of perjury that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
And he
if
needs a
you can, please
microphone.
sign in as well if you have not.
You come around front here.
Mhm.
So, do you understand the nature of my question?
Yes, sir. And just, I think I can answer that, or Mr. Caldwell can answer the question, is you're concerned that there's only 72 parking places for that whole big building? And no, this is just a portion of it. There's 4 other lots that will have parking on them.
Okay.
And so how many total parking places? are there?
219.
There's going to be 219 parking places, and this is 71 or 72 of those places will be on
Okay.
that lot.
So where there's staging materials now, that will all be parking as well?
Correct.
That's the plan.
But it won't be a 4-story parking garage, it'll all be ground level?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. You've answered my question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're trying to get away from that parking garage concept.
Can you please sign in?
I did. My name's Jimmy Michael. I live at 1800 Perrin Drive, and I also live at 1804 Perrin Drive. So it's right across from this. 1804 has been in my family since the mid-1970s. So I've been looking at these trees since I was 11 years old. And they are big trees. They're over 8-inch diameter. All of them. Every one of them has X on it, is over 8-inch diameter. And they want to cut all these down. And I don't want it to happen. Those protect my 2 houses on that street. I got all kinds of stuff here. You know, this does not follow the oceanfront overlay at all. So he's not even following the zoning practices for all these. We're going to do these one at a time. I've got all kinds of stuff about all this, but he's cutting down close to 30 trees. Y'all didn't ask how many trees he was cutting down. You look at all those X's, all those trees are going to be gone.
I agree. I think I counted 18 of them.
I counted.
Yeah,
I
but you got to
counted them.
count it on all 4 lots. They're cutting close to 30 trees down for all 4 parking lots. And to be honest with you, they're not allowed to have parking on the 3rd and 4th row. They're in the overlay zone, the oceanfront overlay zone, so they're not even allowed to have parking on the 3rd row. That's in the overlay zoning, and it also says you can't be over 300 feet away from the principal site. That parking lot, not all of that is within 300 feet of the hotel.
Okay. I want to ask the city to address your concerns.
Okay, so I got stuff for the other stuff too, but we'll let them present it first.
Okay.
But I've been looking at these trees for a long time, and I really don't want them cut down. They protect my house. I do not want to live in a parking lot. I face Perrin Drive. I don't want to face Ocean Boulevard. If you cut all those down, the characteristics of this neighborhood will be changed forever. And that's not fair. That's not what this hotel was supposed to do. It was not supposed to do that to us. You're supposed to maintain the characteristics of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And cutting those trees down and making a parking lot out of it does not do it. You're also supposed to minimize the area, high density, maintain the smallest area. Well, by making however many acres of parking as opposed to a parking garage is not minimizing that area. And Miss Bunny's not here, but she's got a list of all the neighbors that do not want this to happen.
That would prefer a parking garage?
Yes. Yes.
It's interesting. Okay. Your concern is noted. I don't know how many of these trees, again, there's an ordinance for the trees, for the city, that certain size trees are protected, certain ups, and the only trees that are protected that you can't cut down are over 24 inches. So all of these could be cut down.
Yeah, he could go in there and clear cut the whole lot and just keep
He
it that
could
one
clear
tree.
cut the whole lot, and he's trying to,
He's trying to keep as many trees on as he can.
and that's the,
Because if he wanted to, he could just not go before this
And we
board,
don't have-
cut all of them.
So basically, if we deny that 33-inch tree today, he has the ability to go and cut every tree on that lot.
that's correct.
That's where we stand.
That's the bargaining.
So yeah, it's whether we like it or not, that's the bargaining chip.
If we say no.
It sits out there today.
Yeah.
There's no hardship here. There is no hardship for them. They have a permit in hand to build a parking garage. So
There is
there's no
no-
hardship.
The tree.
They want to do this for money.
The only thing in front of us is this tree. And if we say there's no hardship with that 33-inch tree, and we're going to deny your variance, then he can go in and clear cut every other tree off of that lot with no restrictions, and you will be looking.
He does,
And
he
he can
doesn't need a
pave it.
hardship to do that.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the code only protects trees over 24 inches. We're trying to protect more of the trees by letting him cut down one, and that's the
But he's
issue.
cutting down more than one. He's
Well, he's
cutting down 16 other ones or however many there are.
He can do that.
He's allowed to do that per the code, per the
Yeah.
ordinance. I mean, that's the catch, right? The ordinance allows anything under 16 inches to come out, as long as they replace it with a 50% replacement value or pay into the city tree bank. That's the city ordinance.
If we
And
had a
so-
if we had a tougher tree ordinance, which I wish we did, that would, more trees would be protected, but it's only, I see this all the time. People come in, they buy a lot, they want to build a house, and right in the middle of the house in the driveway is a 35-inch tree. And the ordinance says that if they could cut everything else on that parking lot, on that lot down, and they do, and then they come to us to get a variance for that 35-inch tree, which is in the middle of their house, and we have to give it to them because we can't say, no, you can't build a house on that property, because then that's called a taking. So there's so many legal issues with this, and it's frustrating. I see it all the time, is that people come and get a variance for the biggest tree on the property, but then they just go cut everything else they want down, and there's no restrictions, there's no way to limit it, unless we put some requirements on, which is what we're trying to do here, is trade him this one tree for all the rest of them. For 18 more, basically.
And we can
All
ask
the
him to
trees
plant.
in the circle, all the trees in the circle would be saved.
Yeah.
Which would be most of them around the perimeter, which would be in front of your house.
Builds a four-story parking garage, every one of those trees are coming down.
But that won't, no, he can't do that there. Can't do that here. This is R4, it's not RC. He can't do that here.
It's all R4.
Huh?
It's all R4.
No, where the parking garage is RC. From 2021, I've got the letter that y'all sent me saying you were changing the zoning to RC. So where the parking garage goes is RC. Where this is going, this is R4. You can't build a parking garage on an R4. That's why they changed that to RC, so they could put the parking garage there in 2021. I was part of that because my property is catty corner to that thing, so the city sent me a letter saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do. And I was fine with that. And then he promised to put shops down there in the bottom floor. Now that's gone. After he has the building permit and started building, then he changes all this.
I understand. I think probably part of the problem initially was he was going to have to build a parking garage because the other property owners wouldn't sell him the land and they went back later and decided they would sell him the land. So then he could get out of building that parking garage. I mean, really, I think if you talk to most people that have a parking garage in front of their house or around their house, it's not what they want. I know people up in Cherry Grove, they have those big parking
I
garages.
don't think
across
y'all
the
realize
street.
what you're doing, putting all those cars in with pedestrians. 18th Avenue is the only way to get to the beach from Holly down. There's no cut-throughs. 18th Avenue is the funnel where everybody goes down to the beach. And now you got 4 parking lots that they're going to be driving back and forth between with all the pedestrians.
I believe they're going to put a golf cart, their proposal is it's going to have a golf cart trail alongside where that White House is now. I believe
No,
that
there
then
it
will
is.
go
It's not
down-
there. It's not there. It's not on their drawing.
I think the city will require it. Don't you require that? when
Well,
they
if it
have that
does, it's going to
public-
take out all those parking spaces. They're not going to get parking spaces in.
Isn't it required that that public beach access that's going to have golf cart parking? Don't you have to have a road directly or a path directly across from it so people can cross Ocean Boulevard to get to that? They can't drive down
I
Ocean
believe they're
Boulevard to get to it.
low-speed vehicle parking spaces.
Hmm?
I believe they're low-speed parking spaces, low-speed
Okay.
vehicles
Okay,
that can be on the road.
okay. So then that's not my understanding, but there is no parking. How is this going to work with the parking for the city? I mean, they haven't submitted a parking plan to you yet, right? the whole-
We've seen drawings. I don't know if there's going to be revised drawings or not.
Okay, but they haven't been approved or
The site plan has not been approved yet.
site plan has not been approved yet.
Right.
So I'm sort of lost in a no man's land here on what the rules are. I'm just studying this one lot with this one tree. So I don't know how y'all would like to address.
Well, that's, that's what the variance is. I mean, that's what he's asking for, specific to this lot.
And I have to agree with Mr.
Thomas?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to call you Hank. I'm sorry. I have to agree with Mr. Thomas. I mean, we have this one particular zoning request in front of us for this one particular lot, and I'm trying to find a way to leave as many trees as possible on that lot.
The problem is I'm looking at it in totality, not just this one thing.
Right?
So you ought to look at all of them before you vote on anything, because there's all kinds of stuff that has problems for the whole concept.
And I do understand your concerns, but we're tasked with one request at a time to go through these one at a time, and that's the only way I can do it. I
Yeah,
can't
the
go
problem
through.
is they're not one PIN number, right? So they're different parcels. So because of that, we don't have the ability to vote on them as a whole.
Yeah.
Because it has to be related to this particular piece of property. And
It's not-
so, and
I understand
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
but-
that's the issue we run into, right? So we're trying to follow the letter of the law that we've been tasked with, and then at the same time, we want to see the trees be protected too. So we want to see as many trees be kept on this property as also. So we're trying to decide, do you take down a 33-inch tree, or do you tell him he's got to keep the 33-inch tree and the rest of them get wiped off? I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. I'll come back up and talk about the other ones then.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's navigating muddy waters, whether you like it or not. That's where we are. So just trying to figure it out. And I think, can't speak on behalf of everybody up here, but I would like to see something that is for the betterment good of the community, if this is what's going to be there, and have as many trees protected as possible. I mean, that's what I would like to see. I can't speak on their behalf, but I know Miss Lover loves trees and wants to see them stay on the property as well. But yeah, I understand your frustrations.
And and all your other concerns are now on the record. I think when they get a site plan, then they will address those within the statute at that time with regards to the zoning and the distance from the property and all of that. All we're tasked with at the moment is this parking, this one lot. And I want them to leave as many trees as they can.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll come back up when y'all.
And I appreciate your input and your concerns.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. Have you been sworn in?
I don't have to, I'm not giving testimony, I'm just asking a question. Are we talking about Billy McGonigal, the chairperson of the BZA? This is his project, and we're at the peril of his project, the person who serves on this committee to help. I'm just asking for clarification. Is that the project person? Is that who we're
I
approving?
believe he does have a financial investment in the project, but
Okay.
there's other people as well.
Okay, so.
I'm not
so-
saying that they all are.
So I just was curious if we could make sure that everybody knows that the chairperson, for the record, of the BZA is putting us in this situation where our community members are asking for help and for consideration, and you're going to try and figure out a way to help that, right? Just asking for clarification.
Yeah, the chairman has recused himself.
I don't understand the issue if he's recused himself. There's no conflict in.
I just think the citizens should know. I'm not done either. I wasn't done either. It's, it's not inappropriate. It's a question. I have the right to ask a question. I'm a citizen. I'm a
Want to get
taxpaying
sworn
citizen.
in?
I swear to tell the
testify.
whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay.
I had a question. That's not testimony, and I have the appropriate right to speak. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I have to ask the question. This is another citizen. This city, I just asked the question, is that Billy McGonigal? Would you and I like to have this conversation out there? We can. It's not inappropriate. There's nothing inappropriate.
Okay, you've
Ma'am-
asked your question.
And we did clarify, that's
We
who it
did
is.
clarify
Okay.
that he has an interest in the property. That's
Okay.
correct.
But I just want that to be,
I
Do
don't
you
know.
have any interest in this area, any property around this area?
do I what?
Do you have any interest in this property around the area? This area?
I live in North Myrtle Beach. It's going to affect North Myrtle Beach as a whole. And
Don't
I
have anything in this
I don't
right now?
have to. I
Well,
can,
I didn't, I just asked a
I
question.
know, but it's very, very,
That was very nothing.
it was chastising, and it's okay.
It
I get
wasn't.
it. I
It
get
wasn't.
it.
I
have
I
an
didn't know if
interest.
you had any, if you lived in this area or not.
I've been watching it, and I've listened to the citizens, and I just think it's unfortunate they keep coming back and asking for your help, and you continue to pander to them in a way that, oh, well, he's not going to cut down all of them. He's going to try. This is our chairperson.
We're not pandering.
I feel like it is.
It's not pandering.
Well,
You're
I've-
you're making an observation of a statement that you
don't know
have
what
no
else to do.
factual information on,
I've
which you
been to these
continually do
meetings.
outside of this place as well.
He just asked you. He
But,
just
and we
asked
told
you.
him the truth. We told him, we said, look,
But this is our chairperson of the BZA. This is the person who's supposed to be here upholding the city's, the ordinances, the things that, and listening to the citizens. I just wanted to make that point. It's not anybody. It's him.
I think everyone knows that.
Okay, I just wanted to make that.
I mean, that's
yeah,
old
you
news.
made it pretty obvious already.
Thank
Yeah.
you for your
Yeah.
input.
Yeah.
Is anybody else here that wants to speak? Okay. Is there anything else anybody have any questions for the city? Okay. Is anybody prepared to make a motion?
So, Mr. Guyton, you mind if I ask you a couple of questions just so we can define the hardships?
Sure.
So you guys have traffic on each side, which we state is a safety issue that
Correct.
that the gentleman stated as well. You've created a one-flow traffic pattern within the parking lot as well
Correct.
to make sure that it maximizes the space that you can have to maintain the trees that Mr. Duckworth is trying to save.
Correct.
You're also trying to maintain pervious surfaces to protect the nature and the oxygenation of the trees as well that would remain on the property.
Correct.
And you will not remove any other tree on this property outside the ones that are marked with X on this current map,
That's correct.
plot, I should say.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to verify and be on record for that, because I do, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And if, okay, that's it.
One thing that might be worth clarifying is there's 169 rooms in the project. That means there's 169 required spaces. 170 standard spaces are required. So that difference between 170 and 219 are not required parking spaces. So the dimensional requirements in relation to the project, none of that applies. I'll address any questions from the board, not from the audience.
I guess, I mean, if we do have a restaurant on the property, those extra parking spots, will they cover the
Yes.
additional patrons that would be coming in and out?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure that your issues are addressed as well. I think that's important as also.
And since he's raised the issue that his house is behind there, it looks, when I'm looking at this map along Perrin, it looks like a lot of these circles are along Perrin, which would provide some kind of a green space or a buffer back there. Is there, I'm thinking now maybe we should make a requirement of the variance that there be some additional landscaping as a buffer between along Perrin Drive in front of that man's house so that he would be looking at more greenery and less vehicles?
We would accept that stipulation, but it's fair to also say that the city's landscape ordinance is already going to require them to do that. So we're going to be putting plant material under those trees between Perrin Drive and the parking spaces, so that there will be a buffer, if you will, that's
Okay.
enhanced.
So
So
it won't be
that's,
just the trees. You will be required by the landscaping ordinance to
Yeah.
add additional shrubbery and green space along
Yeah.
along Perrin Drive.
and the nice thing about this setup, the way the existing trees will be there, is you're going to have these kind of nice sweeping bed lines. And the understory plants will be a combination of things that are evergreen, shade loving, some lower growing ground covers and things too. So it will be a very attractive edge right there between the parking and Perrin.
Do have a question for the city. The gentleman that spoke, Mr. Michael, I believe his name was, he indicated something about this being in the coastal overlay zone.
Yes.
So is this lot in the coastal overlay zone?
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it only covers the oceanfront lots.
It's only the ocean front. So this one is not in the coastal overlay zone.
Not in my opinion. I don't have the map in front of me, though.
Okay. So I'm just curious about if there were different landscaping requirements for that overlay zone versus,
No, the state has requirements about planting past their coastal zone lines, but they wouldn't be planting across that line.
okay. How about fencing?
Fencing is regulated in the zoning ordinance, yes.
So are there fencing regulations for this lot?
I didn't believe there was any fences on this lot.
No, there aren't any. I'm just curious. I'm trying to think of a way to help put a buffer between the neighbor
Block him.
and the project.
Would you like a fence up, sir? Would you like a fence on the perimeter, a privacy fence that blocks where your house, because you're at 1800, right? You're 1800 South Perrin Drive, is that, you're at 1800 Perrin Drive?
I'm trying to address your concerns as best as I can. And it could be because they need to remove this tree, this one protected tree, that gives us leverage over the developer, which again, that says, okay, we're going to limit what else you can remove. We could also require that they put a fence up along the back of Perrin Drive. I mean, is that something that you would feel better about if we made that a requirement, that they have a fence in there along with the landscaping buffer? Okay.
Couple of trees you have to work around that a little bit.
Hmm?
You got a couple trees on the perimeter, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
You just would have to work around.
I mean, it wouldn't have to be, it could go up to a tree trunk and then start on the other side of the tree
Yeah, I
trunk.
mean, yeah, you just have to work around it, yeah.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
be close to the whole property.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I mean, that's something we can add to any
So you would like
motion that we make.
a fence on the back?
Okay, excuse me. Hello? I don't have a gavel. I wish I did. Yeah, if you want to add something, you need to come up, get sworn in, and then testify and state your name for the record and where you live. Same way as everybody else.
Bonnie Morrow? I have not.
Person. Do you solemnly state under penalty of perjury that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So, do you live in the area also?
I don't. I'm one of the developers with.
You're one of the developers,
Yep.
okay? Okay.
And I was just saying, the fence, and I could be wrong, but from what I know, that from where you live and where you and I have talked, it is behind the yellow house that is not being used. The same house that the lady has written a letter to you guys saying she does not want a parking lot. A parking garage. And I hope
Okay.
y'all got that letter. I sent that over to Ben with that and a few other neighbors as well. But I was thinking, I don't see why we're doing the best we can. We've got, we have bent over backwards to put these to put these trees in place and to keep them there, to ask for this one spot. And we just want to be good neighbors and have this place beautiful. And I'm just, we're doing everything we can to make this work. So I just wanted to add that. I wanted to add that I thought you were right there behind the ladies. Mm-hmm.
I'm right across from DRG Construction House.
Yep.
Which is right there.
Okay.
Right there.
But I just think it would take a lot away with a fence. I mean, but if that's what we need to do and that's what you want to do, we can talk about it. So,
Can you please sign in?
sorry.
Okay, I think Mr. Duckworth was going to say something about the fence discussion issue here.
I don't mind. I think if you put a fence between Perrin and the parking lot, I mean, that's the board's prerogative, obviously. You can do whatever you want as a requirement. I think aesthetically, it wouldn't be as pleasing as vegetation. And if you wanted to make a stipulation that we go above and beyond the code requirement with the landscaping and do like a dense evergreen screen, that would be more aesthetically pleasing. And I'll use an example which all of you are probably very familiar with, and I believe it's off of, I think it's 8th Avenue North. If you're driving from like the corner there where the church is and you're going towards the ocean, on the right-hand side, after you make that kind of weird dog leg and you start heading straight down to the beach, on the right, there's a development called Seaside Plantation. Now, the developer could have put a fence there along the avenue, but they chose to do a nice, dense evergreen hedge instead. And for the neighbors,
It's pretty. On
it,
you're talking about 8th Avenue?
it looks
Yeah.
a lot more pleasing than just a hard fence. I don't care what you build the fence out of, whether it's, wood or one of these new vinyl things. But to me, I think the vegetation would be more attractive for
Would you,
what
be,
it's
would
worth.
you be okay with a dense vegetation landscape plan?
A lot of it's noise too.
Well, it'll cut it down.
Better for noise.
What?
I want the noise out of my house.
Well, if you do the greenery that he's talking, have you been on 8th Avenue North and North Myrtle Beach? You know the avenue where the Catholic church is? So you got Chick-fil-A, and then you leave Home Depot, you can make a left out of Chick-fil-A, and you can go back to 8th Avenue. You can make a right and go back towards the beach. And there's a great neighborhood, this prime example, but they do have unbelievable vegetation, and it's grown up, and you don't really know there's a neighborhood back there other than a couple houses that are built really high. But the vegetation would actually be a better noise dampener than the actual fence itself, because the fence is going to bounce noise, whereas the
Ricochet.
vegetation is going to absorb the noise. So we're just trying to find a way to help you as well. If you're okay with a vegetation plan, okay.
Vegetation be taller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll grow taller over time over the fence. Yeah, okay.
All right, going back, does anybody have any questions for the city? Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
Mm-mm.
Anybody else in the audience would like to speak? Okay, is there any discussion among the board? Anybody have any thoughts they would like to share, input? Okay, is anybody prepared to make a motion?
Give me a second. Ms. Lover, Ms. Chair, Co-Chair, I move that the board grant variance V 26-11 because the applicant has demonstrated unnecessary hardships. Specifically, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions to pertain to this particular piece of property, which is that it does have 2 road frontages. It has been 4 lots have been combined into a parking lot, and the applicant is trying to save as many trees on the property as possible, which also help with the drainage issues and other things of that nature. These conditions do not generally apply to the other properties in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, application of the ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or reasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The authorization of the variance would not be a substantial detriment to adjacent properties or to the public good, and to the care of the district would not be harmed by the granting the variance. The additional comments to this variance is that we would like the applicant to only remove the trees that have been marked X on the plot that has been shown and presented to the board today. And then they also do a landscape buffer plan on the back of the property for Perrin Drive to create buffers and noise dampening for the residents in that area.
Going to put any kind of a replacement schedule in your motion?
For the 33-inch tree, the applicant can pay the fee that's associated with the removal of the tree or replacement schedule of the 33 inches through the buffer on the back of the property with other protective species of trees.
That would be in addition to the ones, the
In addition,
replant schedule that he's already
in
required.
addition to
permit.
in addition to what he's required to replace for the trees that are currently being removed.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I have an aye, by the way. But, okay. Oh, no, the ayes have it. The variance is granted.
Thank you all for your time. The only thing I was going to add is a clarification for the buffer tree, the trees themselves that are above and beyond the normal code requirement. You had mentioned that they would go along the back. It would be good if to say that we could put them on the front too, because we don't want to put somebody in the back. It affects the health of the canopies of the existing ones. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We have, the next variance is variance BZA -26-12.
Ben, have these been postponed or removed or to your knowledge?
Leave that up to the applicant.
Okay.
Is anyone here for variance BZA -26-12? 1716 South Ocean Boulevard?
Madam Chairman, as we mentioned, we have been trying to work through these variances. Today, we're of the opinion that we will be able to withdraw 2612, 2613, and 2614. We have not confirmed that with staff yet, so my request would be that those three be continued to the next meeting so we can confirm that with staff and then appropriately submit a withdrawal.
When you say withdrawal, that means that they just go away and you have to start over from scratch?
No, we don't believe we'll need them at all. We're asking for a continuance to the next meeting so that between now and the next meeting, we can confirm with staff that we have a plan that complies without the need for a variance. And at that point, we'd withdraw them preferably prior to the next meeting.
He wants a postponement.
Okay. So would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, Chairwoman, that we postpone 26-12, 26-13, and 26-14 until the next scheduled meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Ayes have it, so these are all continued to the next meeting.
Thank you all. Have
Thank
a nice
you.
night.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chairperson, we ruled on 26-11, and then the applicants for 2612, 2613, 2614 asked that they be continued pending a consultation with the city as to whether they will just withdraw them altogether, dismiss them altogether.
Okay.
So that leaves us on number 7 on the agenda, which is BZA 26-17. Take over?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, after speaking with the city attorney, I'm going to recuse myself from BZA-26-17.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Thomas. All right, we're going to move on to item number 7. We've got BZA 26-17, an application by Kenny Hyatt for a variance to remove 3 trees in excess of 24 inches in diameter at 1001 Hyatt Pond Road. Mr. Hyatt?
Yes, sir. Kenneth Hyatt, 319 27th Avenue North, Myrtle. we're requesting to move the two that are in the footprint, one of which we do, pardon me, have a letter that it is dead. And then there is another dead tree that's next to the road. It doesn't bother me to leave it, but they claim to think it's a hazard as it is dead. And the one that is of concern is the one at the very edge of the property. And if I can show it to you. The one on the very edge of the property. The arborist is very concerned that when we cut the foundation, that it's going to definitely kill the tree, as the property owner next to us has already cut the right-hand side. So, of course, the tree was on our property when they cut. They didn't have to have any type of a variance or anything from the city. So we pretty much derooted that tree under construction, but that's entirely up to the board.
Okay, let me make sure I understand what's correct. You've got the two trees. Which one is the one that you said is dead?
Which one is?
Which one is dead?
This one is dead, the one that's right on the inside.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a picture, photographs? I went out there and looked at it and took some pictures out of my car window, but I always like to see exactly what we're talking about. Things look different on drawings.
Do I have the picture on the phone if I find it?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Of angles of the property. Okay. This tree is the tree that sits practically right on the buildable line. Okay, and as you can see, the main roots head towards the buildable area.
And how many inches is that one?
That one is 26.
And what kind of tree is it?
Height is it? Oh, he specified it. If I'm not mistaken, it was a red oak.
A live oak. It's marked as a live oak on your survey.
So looking at that tree, Mr. Hyatt, where is that on the map? Is that the one to the,
This tree
right here on the back? Okay, gotcha.
back between the two houses.
Okay.
And what he's worried about, like I said, I don't think it's gonna be right on the eve of the house, but the arborist is concerned that, of course, it's gonna die and then it's gonna be between both and it falling. What you guys recommend is.
Okay.
The other tree, definitely in the footprint, this one is dead. Halfway up, rotted out. I don't know if it's fried by lightning or what it was.
It's 32 inches.
Thir- 32, and it's on your plot plan, it shows it's 32 inches. The one in the middle of the lot that you need to take out?
I'm thinking that this was done by Harry Brooke, and I'm not sure if they measured the bottom of the tree. Somebody told me to measure 36 inches up. I don't know how you guys measure.
That's how we measure.
That's out, yeah.
According to this, it should be 26.1, but it is in the dead center of my footprint.
Okay.
What about the two trees? As you go into, I think it's Surf Estates, there's two trees. I know this is my little photo and it's not very good, but beside that neighboring house, like if you're going into Surf Estates, they're along that, there's a fence and there's two trees right there on that corner. I don't even see those on your map. Yeah, right in there.
That's the signage column going into Surf.
No, come here. Could you come here a second? I'm sorry.
Ma'am.
Or maybe I could give this to the city and they could put it up there. So going into Surf Estates, these two trees are here. I don't see that.
That's the two trees
Which two?
that are in the footprint.
These two there? They don't look dead.
No.
There's one under the lot too. It's in the middle.
No, this is, see, like this one is right on this guy's fence, and then there's another one beside it.
What guy's fence, ma'am?
Well, isn't that a fence there? That's the house on the back of your lot.
Correct.
Okay, there's a fence.
Yeah,
Okay, and there's a tree, and there's a tree.
and there's another tree to your right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the one you said was dead. No.
The one to the right is live.
This one here?
This one is dead, and the one in the back is the one we're gonna rip the roots out of the ground.
So this is this one, and this one by the, right here by this post with the pink flag.
The pink flag will be the closest one.
Turn it around.
Let me see what you.
Those look like two healthy trees.
Have a letter from the arborist?
I have the letter. You have it?
Mm.
No.
The city, do y'all have a letter for the arborist?
Yes, he got it. They can give it back.
And Elton, do y'all have a letter for the arborist?
Yes. Is that the newest one?
So we don't need, we're not making a decision on those trees then.
There's two of them that he recommends removal because of them being hazards and dangerous.
Well, the
and
difference between being dead and being hazards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these look green.
These are
That's why I'm
different.
trying to figure out
So,
what he
yeah,
says
we're-
is
yeah.
dead.
So the only
Yeah.
green that you're looking at there in that picture is on the back edge. Because this is coming into surface state.
See, there's another one. That's the one right there on the back edge. Then there's these two.
Okay. These two right here have to go there in the footprint.
They're in the footprint.
And one of them is already dead. And we have the letter on that one. This one, the letter states that when we cut the root system, because it's sitting on the line, that it's gonna die.
That's number 26.
That's the, yeah,
Is that
26.
Is that, I thought that was it. Did you say?
Oh, it's just number 26, the tree. So I was making sure we're talking about the right tree.
Yes, sir.
That's the size of it.
Oh, okay.
26 inches in diameter.
I mean, this other one, it doesn't look dead either, but it's bisected by a power line where they cut the power line down the
He
middle of
said
it.
it's dead. It doesn't bother me if it stays at all, but he just said it's just a hazard. It's completely dead. It's been butchered so bad.
I mean, it has been butchered, but it's got a lot of green leaves on it. They put,
Everything that's coming out is coming out dead. I don't know how it's even surviving, but that's fine if you want to do that. It doesn't bother me. It's just that person purchasing or whatever, having like it is dead. 5 trees is the middle one in the footprint, and
which is 32 inches.
yeah, property which he killed.
Which is 26 inches. But it's not dead. He just thinks it could be damaged when you put the
Well,
foundation in.
The root system on the right-hand side of it. The root system, we're gonna completely.
That's 58 inches of trees, 32 in the middle and 26 along the back.
Correct.
58 inches. Okay. Where is that letter, Ben?
Right here.
Thank you. I swear I'm going to go be an arborist. I'm going to go to arborist school. M&M Tree Service. Is Michael Mathis of M&M Tree Service the arborist? Is he also the person who's going to cut down the trees?
No, I
Oh.
actually was talking to Leaf and I've talked to A.D. Watts.
Leaf and
But
who?
I have heard now that he does cut trees. But I don't think he has anything to take those out with. I'm not sure. I don't know. When we built that subdivision and worked with the city, I believe that he was the arborist that Dave Prince got with the tree that was hollowed out and dead that was in the middle of the road, and we tried to work around it, but it ended up being with all the asphalt, it didn't survive or would not survive, so the city agreed to take it out. That's the only way I knew him.
Okay, you want to see that?
Okay, any other
Okay.
questions?
No.
Give a second, we'll hear from the city. We'll be right back. Mr. Caldwell?
Petitioner Kenny Hyatt has applied to remove a tree in excess, or trees in excess of 24 caliper inches at 1001 Hyatt Pond Road. Trees exceeding 24 caliper inches shall only be approved upon approval by the board. The board is charged with setting a suitable tree replacement schedule. City Council has also approved a tree bank where individuals can pay $300 per caliper inch of required planting. Staff recommends that the board review the variance application, hear the evidence presented at the meeting, and review section 2368.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell. Hey, Mr. Caldwell, this tree that's on the edge of the house, I mean, we see where
Near the
we've got-
back?
Yeah, the one that's in between the two properties. I mean, we've seen so many times where the size of the canopy, once you're cutting into that, you're going to cut into it. It's pretty, what's your thoughts from the city's perspective? Elton, what's your thoughts from a city perspective?
Well, I think that it's a rather an odd-shaped lot compared to other ones in the same vicinity. It does narrow in the back, shrinking the footprint, but it is only a required 5-foot setback on the sides. And although we do have the tree protection zone, really any work in that area would probably be a detriment to the tree, even if you met the tree protection zone.
Right.
And that tree is how big? 26?
26
inches, yeah.
That's a 13-foot ring around
Canopy,
the
right.
tree.
That's what, when I went up there and saw that one, you could see it was pretty sizable.
This
I
is,
don't,
this is R2, right? Is this zone R2?
R2, right?
So
yeah,
technically,
it's
minimum
R2.
square foot would have been 10,000 square, it's 10,000 square foot, right?
5,000 is the minimum
5,000?
lot size.
Okay.
so we've got, currently we've got two in the footprint that are obviously in the footprint of the house. They're not going to be able to be there. What's our thoughts on the other two?
I mean, he's got the arborist letter for the ones, that doesn't matter.
Right.
So, I mean, that's, as long as, that is what it is.
Yep.
And like Ms. Lover said, you got a 32 and the 26, which is 58 inches of trees. He's got a irregular shaped lot, which pushes the house, if he wants to build a house, the usable space he has, it pushes the house back against the back, or it pushes the house to the side of the property line at 5 feet. So he's still, I mean, because of that irregular shaped lot, it doesn't give him a lot of space to work with.
Right.
No, I mean, I think we have to give him a variance for the 32-inch tree. It's in the middle of the house.
Yeah. But the 26, he's gonna kill the 26.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just reality of the situation.
It
It's
is.
gonna kill it. And so I'd rather have a good replacement schedule than
Correct.
him keep it, and then we hope it lives, and then it doesn't.
Because they're going to plant it. They're going, and he's,
I don't know where he's going. Okay, I'm just saying, if you said 32 and 58, that's 58 inches of trees. I don't know where he's going to put 58 inches of trees on that lot.
Can you do 20, can you do 24 or 30? 24 or 30 replacement value?
Say that again, 24.
So that's, I mean, the 32 inches in the middle of the lot.
Right.
I mean, that's,
I'd say,
so can we give him like a 50% replacement value, like 24 inches or 30 inches on that lot? I mean, because it is a smaller lot and it's a regular shape, so he's still fighting that too.
I think.
with the provision that he has to leave that other tree up on the corner that I was just looking at that's.
You want the one up at the top left? I'm sure he's
Yeah.
fine with that too. I think Mr. Hyatt be fine with, you're fine with leaving that tree at the one that's got the utility easement, the one that goes through the utility easement, you're fine with leaving that tree?
Easement?
Yes, sir.
I don't mind leaving it.
Yeah, so he's fine with leaving that one.
Somebody else might cut it down, but
With a power line, and I don't know if it will affect it or not.
No, that's
but
fine.
I
Yeah,
don't
well,
mind
yeah.
leaving it.
I mean, I would say,
Power company can always cut down if it becomes an issue.
but what about the two I was showing you back there in the back? One of those is the one on the line, but what's the other one? You gonna leave the other one that's there?
There's two in the center of the footprint.
And that's not what I'm
The
talking.
second one of the two are dead. It looks live to look at
Okay.
it, but it's topped
But what
out.
about the one that's not dead and not in the center?
That's the one that I'm speaking of. The one that's dead center is the only live tree. This in the footprint.
Yeah, so the
Okay, you
26
have
is
a
outside
better
of the footprint, the
picture.
32 is in the footprint. The other one that's on the edge of the footprint, that one's technically dead per the arborist. That's the one that got blown out by lightning that he's saying can't be saved.
Okay. I think Okay. I can't get a good picture of what I didn't take a very good picture. I'll try and take better
That's
pictures
the
next time.
oak in the center.
Yeah.
I hate for it to go, but yes.
Yeah, I understand it's in the middle of the footprint. That I understand that.
And then there's one right next to it.
This is the 26-inch one on the fence right there, and then there's this over here. Right. That's that one.
Hardly see it from the top of that. Look through the live oak.
Okay. This is the one, see, I'm saying there's trees here that aren't on your picture that I'm not seeing. Okay, it's okay. All right. I just have this picture and I can't find those trees on your picture. My photos are different than your photos. So it's just a different angle. We'll go on. It's okay.
Well, that's it, growing another one. Back of the V.
Okay.
The tree, can you see it?
That one back there? Yes.
Back.
Yeah, that's one of
the
these.
dead one.
That's the dead one. Okay.
That's the one that you were referring to
Okay.
on your left.
Okay. I just see 3 trees back there. 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
1, 2, 3. So
The furthest one back is the one that's between the two houses, and the other two are in the footprint.
these 2 are both in the footprint.
This
Okay.
one.
See that, but okay. Go for it, Mendel.
So, we've heard from everybody. Does anybody in the audience want to speak?
Yep. Does anybody in the audience want to speak?
So, Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant variance 26-17 because applicant has demonstrated necessary hardship, specifically there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property, which is the irregular shaped size of the lot, which limits his ability to place a house on the lot. These conditions do not generally apply to the other properties in the vicinity. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance of a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The authorization of the variance would not be a substantial detriment to adjacent properties or to the public good, and the character of the district would not be harmed by the granting of the variance. We do ask that Mr. Hyatt replace the trees that he removed of 58 inches for a value of 30 inches on the lot, or pay into the tree bank for the tree fund at 30 inches. At
$300 an inch or $100? What?
$300 an inch.
$300 an inch.
You have the ability to replace, so you have the ability to replace, they'll give you this, so that you're taking out 58 inches. So you got to replace 30 inches worth of trees on the property.
Okay, is this including the one that's between the two houses?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and take that. That's probably the main reason that we're replacing trees.
Yes, sir.
Not because of the footprint.
No, sir. It's because of
We'll
that.
pay
So
$9,000.
We're actually cutting
26 inches, so how much do you want?
30 inches, because we're basically letting you have the 32 inch for free. Basically, we're not penalizing you for taking the 32 inch because it sits in the middle of the property.
Right.
The 26 inch, we're making you place the full value of that, and we're just adding 4 inches of replacement. That's it.
Okay.
So
So what do you want us to plant back, or what? is the
It'll be
fees about?
it'll have to be protected species based on,
Go over it.
they have a tree replacement schedule that,
And or there's a placement into the bank?
yes, sir.
Okay.
$9,000 into the tree bank.
Or the
or
replacement.
30 inches of trees or a combination. You could do 20 inches of trees and
Okay.
3,000 into the tree
Well, we
bank
can
or
plant
something.
more trees. They've cleaned all that brush up between there and Surfwood. Plant
Yeah.
trees down that side.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. We got a motion by Mr. Bell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second for Mr. Wise. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on the next item on the agenda.
I'm not here.
We've got item number, anybody here for it? No. Yeah, we're not talking about that one right now. This is the last one on the agenda. Give us 1 second and then we'll grab you. Thank you. For the item number 8, did we, no?
What's that?
Nobody's here?
They had no contact and postponing the meeting, or?
I haven't talked
Withdraw?
with James about this case.
Okay. Thoughts? You want to, which one is this one? Let's go ahead and postpone this, if we would, and then we'll come back on it. We get to a motion to postpone.
I make a motion, we postpone BZA -26-18 till next month's meeting.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second on Mr. Bell? Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And sir, if, come on up to the microphone.
I had trouble following most of this, but I have a lot, 1707 Holly Drive, and I understood they're building a parking lot next to me and wanted to change the zoning. So instead of 10% parking, it'd be complete parking on the lot. And I thought from the discussion I heard that you waive everything or postpone the other 4 lots or portions of the 4 lots. Is that correct?
So it was postponed, but the applicant that got up and spoke said that they were most likely going to withdraw their application for that.
Oh, so.
So
that'd be it.
they're going to go back, they said they're going to go back and revise and look at their revisions of their parking plan. But with where they are, it looks like they're going to withdraw that from the request.
Okay, that
Sir.
solves my problem.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
And real quick, I have an item of old business.
Yep.
Old business. The tree over there in the Beverly Homes
Yes.
thing that they came in, we told them ahead of time they couldn't cut it down. Then they built a house beside it, came in and wanted to cut it down, and we told them, no, they can't cut it down. Well, they cut it down. So I drove by and looked. I drive around and check these people. So that tree is gone.
Into that.
So I'd like you to add that back to the agenda so we can set a penalty.
Must have got the flu.
Must have got the flu.
Yeah, the tree must have got the flu.
But unless now they built a bunch more houses out there, so it doesn't look the same, but I swear that tree's gone.
It's gone. I drove by the other day, it's gone.
You knew it too. There you go.
I noticed it, yeah.
Good. Any other discussions?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Good deal. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up and speaking.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. You did a very good job. Thank you.